I got me a rock and roll band, it's a free-for-all.
Hello, freebies, and welcome back to the Free-for-All podcast. It's episode number 91 here from the KFDX Plus studio. My name is M.J. Baird, not Jordan. Nope, that's not how I'm supposed to say it. My name is M.J., not Jordan nor Jackson. It's Baird, KFDX3 sports reporter, alongside the man in the middle, the WFISD multimedia specialist, noted Texas Rangers fan here on opening day, Mr.
Opening day.
Johnson. Couldn't even get your last name out of my mouth. That's how excited you are.
That's right. Today should be a national holiday.
It's not, but that's okay. And the man on the right side, he's the man I always look up to. He's quite tall. He's the Burnett CISD athletic director. It's Coach Grant Freeman. What's going on, sir?
So baseball starts today, and we go till September before I start paying attention?
Yes, that's exactly it. Chad pays attention from day one, though.
That's right.
Noted.
Today is, what is today? Today is March the 26th. And, Chad, you're wearing the Rangers uniform, jersey rather, whatever, polo. God, I can't talk.
3:15 in Philly.
I was going to say, can you tell us your excitement level for the Texas Rangers here in 2026?
I'm guardedly optimistic. I think obviously the starting pitching is going to be incredible like it was last year.
Okay.
I think the bullpen has some potential. And if the offense would just be average, if they would have been average last year, they would have won 95 games.
And they
if
were
they
below
would
average.
just be average this year, and I'm expecting more than average, but guardedly optimistic. I think they're a 500 team at worst. I'm hoping they're pushing more along 90 wins, challenging for a playoff spot. So,
I have a question about guardedly optimistic.
Shoot.
What if you're? What's the difference in that and being optimistic, Chad? You don't want to get hurt. Like
if they go in the toilet, I wouldn't be surprised, if that makes any sense. So, I mean, years of being a Rangers fan has taught me to be guardedly optimistic. I mean,
okay.
Yes. Let's just say there's been.
I guess it's better than being guardedly pessimistic.
Yes. I'm not going into the year thinking this team sucks. We have no hope.
Would you consider being a Dallas Cowboys fan guardedly optimistic?
No.
How about guardedly pessimistic?
Yeah, you're. There's no guarded. There's no guardrails with the Cowboys.
Sure.
You're either driving on that fast highway or you're a flaming turd flying off of the side of the hill.
Yeah, I know which one Jerry is for sure. All right, this is episode number 91 of the show. So as always, we like to correlate our show number to an athlete who wore that jersey number in their day. Maybe active player, maybe not. Coach Free, do you have any 91s that come to mind for you as far as athletes who wore it?
Yeah, it's not even close for me. It's Dennis Rodman with the Bulls. You know, again, the catalyst of that second three-peat, the defensive heart, the rebound machine, and the just chaos maker. I loved the Worm. One of my favorite posters in my room was him full layout. I mean, full parallel to the ground layout for a ball. And, so it's definitely Dennis Rodman, and it was with the Bulls, and that's the end of the story for me.
NBA Hall of Famer, and in a couple of weeks, WWE Hall of Famer, Dennis Rodman.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, do you remember
he was chaos.
Do you remember his, I think it was 2-week stint with the Dallas Mavericks, Grant?
Yes, I actually do. And
he was living with Cuban, I believe.
Mavericks. Yeah, he lived with Cuban. He played for the Spurs, obviously, before he went to the Bulls.
He was good. He was good with the Spurs. The
member
Mavericks.
of the Bad Boy Pistons.
Yeah, the Mavericks were comical.
When I think 91,
and he was an alum of what, Southeastern Oklahoma?
I believe so. Yes.
He went to school with Marty McBride. That's all I can remember. I remember Marty telling me all the stories.
I think it's either Southeastern. I think it is Southeastern. It's either Southeastern or Northeastern.
Yeah.
I think it was Southeastern.
That's pretty cool.
I think it is. Yeah.
When I think 91, certainly basketball not at the top of the list, but usually it's maybe football or for me, quite honestly, when I think 91, I think hockey. We're into that low 90s hockey number. Steven Stamkos currently wears it for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And if you kind of go back a little bit in the hockey world, Sergei Fedorov wore number 91. So those,
okay.
those are the
Sergei. I remember Sergei Fedorov. Yeah.
Those are the ones that come to mind for me. Boston Bruin, not active anymore, but part of the 2011 Stanley Cup team was Mark Savard. Lesser known name, but as a Boston guy, definitely a name I remember. Chad, who comes to mind for you?
I'm zigging a little bit, so we have some names on here. So 1991 MVPs.
What are we doing, Coach Free? He's just like
He
Hey, there's
did
only-
this last week, and I liked it.
There's
He did
only
this
so
last
many
week, I
numbers.
liked it,
There's
but
only
let
so
him
many
go.
numbers you
Yeah.
can go with 91.
All right, so
So we've
Chad,
got-
take it away.
So we've got baseball MVPs: American League MVP Cal Ripken Jr., National League MVP Terry Pendleton, Cy Young Awards Roger Clemens, Tom Glavine, Rookies of the Year Chuck Knobloch and Jeff Bagwell. NBA, we've got shocker NBA MVP in 1991. Can anybody guess?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, NBA Rookie of the Year Derek Coleman. NFL
From Syracuse.
NFL MVP, former Oklahoma State Cowboy Thurman Thomas. Offensive Rookie of the Year Leonard Russell. Defensive Rookie of the Year Mike Kroll. And for the NHL, 1991 Hart Trophy MVP Brett Hull beat out Wayne Gretzky. The Calder Trophy, which was Rookie of the Year, Ed Belfour. And this show's playoff MVP was Mario Lemieux.
Here's my problem with this zag. We've only got 8 more episodes left of doing this, and then we got to come up with something new because we're going to get to 100 and nobody wears triple digits. So I think we could have maybe waited 8 more episodes to
But if we
zag.
wait, but then we would be
Let Chad cook.
we would be 100 more episodes before we got to 91. When we get to 191,
We could count
I'll
back
be
down.
dead by then.
We could go, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95.
We'll
have
just start
Chad
with zero.
cook.
We'll just start with zero as 2000,
there you go. That's an option too. Yeah.
and then after we get past 26, we'll go to 1927.
Oh my God.
Chad, you're totally fine. Chad, you do what you do.
This
You're doing
bugs
fine.
me. No,
How
Coach
many
Free,
number 91s are there?
I expected you to back me here, Coach Free, and you didn't.
I mean, you guys probably named the 3 91s that there are ever.
Dennis
I
Rodman,
got my
Kevin
Dennis
Green,
Rodman.
Justin
I got
Tuck,
Dennis
Fletcher
Rodman
Cox,
in.
Sergei
Yeah.
Fedorov, Steven Stamkos. There's 6 right there.
Oh, you did name Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox, who lives in
Windthorst?
Windthorst, Texas.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Who would have known we have 3 current or former professional athletes living in our Texoma area that I know of? There may be more, but in our Texoma area, 2 of them live in Windthorst.
Does Brandon Workman still live in Bowie?
I don't know where Brandon lives, to be honest with you.
From Bowie.
I think he's in DFW.
Okay.
Yes, he is from Bowie.
Anyway, before we go much further in the podcast, let me thank our sponsor here on the show. Of course, our friends over at Macaulay Landscapes, proudly serving Wichita Falls for more than 20 years now. Their services include lawn maintenance, landscaping, irrigation repair, and so much more. You can visit them online, MacAullayLandscapes.com, or pick up the phone, give them a call at 940-632-5346. Patrick and his guys will get you hooked up with anything you need. The free-for-all relies on Macaulay Landscapes, and you should too. By the way, I saw a Facebook post, I think it was the other day. Macaulay Landscapes now hiring. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're maybe looking for a summer job, hit up Patrick and maybe he can get you hooked up with some employment.
Is he hiring for that Burnett office that he's fixing to open?
You know what? I'm not sure. Maybe.
You better.
Very
You
possible.
better. You better start hiring.
I have Patrick on my list of projects, but after we get roofing done and foundation done, landscaping is next, and Mr. Macaulay will be taking care of the Johnson house at some point in time.
I saw Patrick Facebook post or Facebook story the other day. He was out on the golf course following his son with the WFISD golf teams.
He's with Memorial, I believe, quite the golfer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he shot like 77. I saw. So he's that was a district meet maybe for district.
I know he's given up
258.
Patrick's beloved soccer to focus on golf because he's apparently quite the golfer.
Round of applause for that, right, Coach Free?
Good job, Reed. Let's go.
Okay, let's see. What do we got?
Hey, I want to give a shout out. As you know, last week for the podcast, Grant Freeman was here in person.
He was.
Well, I look up at I had to announce the middle school track meet. Well, as many know, Grant's son Jackson is an 8th grader, would be competing for Barwise if he was still in Wichita Falls. I look up for the was it the 1,600 meters, I think? I don't remember. No, it was one of the relays, the 800-meter relay, I think.
4x400 relay.
Well, I look up and
4x400 relay.
who is lining up the relay runners as they are going, but one, Burnett CISD Athletic Director Grant Freeman lining up the runners, getting them ready to go for the track meet.
You can take the coach out of Wichita Falls, but you can't take Wichita Falls out of the coach, right?
Yeah, I think that's the correct statement, I guess.
I made it up.
I say that jokingly, but in all seriousness, I mean that speaks right there to Grant's love for his job and love for kids. I mean that he's just out there to watch some of his son's friends and stuff like that, and he saw a need and he took care of it. And I'm sure nobody had to ask him to do it. I'm sure he jumped right in and said, "Let me help out." So kudos to him. So,
and a boy, Coach Free.
It was funny. I started shouting orders, and all of the coaches just snapped in line like normal, like I hadn't left. I don't know.
Yeah, some people
Still
have
got
that kind
it,
of pull
guys.
around
Still
here.
got it.
Yeah. What's new in Burnett CISD Athletics? Anything good?
Yeah, we got state powerlifters headed off today. We've got baseball, softball, track, all of those things going on right now. Our high school track teams are at the Lampasas meet today. State powerlifting. We had girls last week. We just sent off our guys this week today, headed to the state powerlifting meet. We've got district golf going on. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. We host the district track meet in 2 weeks. So that's, if you could see my desk and my whiteboard, I have all kinds of plans and planning for that. Great 2-day event coming up. And so lots of fun going on down here in Burnett. And, it's a beautiful 75 degrees outside, which is about where it stays most of the time.
Speaking of powerlifting, Chad, some great powerlifting success in the WFISD.
Yeah, Leah Sanchez won state. I don't remember the weight classes, but she won state for Legacy. It's the second year in existence that Legacy has had a female state champion powerlifter. Leah finished third last year, finished first this year. I believe I heard Coach Davidson saying she came in. I don't know how the point system works for powerlifting, but I guess she was third coming into the state powerlifting meet and had some points to make up and made them up and won state. And then Haley Wynn for Memorial in her weight class, the first ever state champion for Memorial High School. So congratulations to those two ladies. I believe we probably have I think we've got 3 boys going off this week for the boys powerlifting meet, but shout out to those young ladies and good luck to the young men that are competing this week. I mean, that's pretty awesome talking about our new schools in existence, to already have 3 state champion powerlifters. So.
No doubt. Sorry, I'm trying to edit a video on the fly here.
That's all good. Yeah, it goes by poundage. So if she was ranked third in total pounds going into it and overcame 2 people ahead of her in the meet, that's amazing.
State record in what, the bench press?
State record in the bench press. I believe, unless it has been broken since the last state meet, she set the state record last year at the state meet. Wow. So I'd be lying if I know it was broken between last year and this year, but
sure.
I mean, broke her. I'm gonna go with broke her own state record. So
I love it.
She's also speaking of Leah. Leah is the ace pitcher for the Legacy softball team. Yeah, I believe a pretty good offensive player as well. So not just powerlifting these young ladies do, but they and that kind of speaks right there as another sport out there that boys and girls can compete in, and it really doesn't matter your height, your size, whatever. They have weight classes for everybody, and get in there. You might surprise yourself.
Coach Free, I know that you're one to be in the gym working out, but you're not powerlifting, right?
No, so they got a little different rules and wear some different equipment to protect themselves, stuff like that. I mean, I'll throw some weight up, but nothing like that.
Sure.
Hey, Grant, you might be able to answer this question, and yes, I should have Googled it. But I know they have different classes. They have equipped and unequipped. What is the difference in it? Do you know what the difference is in equipped and unequipped? What does that mean for in layman's terms?
I do. It's whether they're wearing the certain equipment that provides a little bit of, how to say it, help. Bench press shirts. Yeah, bench press shirts. The squat uniforms and knee wraps, so they can do it with those things or without.
And they're separate classes for both.
Correct.
Gotcha.
I was just pulling up the web story here on TexomasHomepage.com. If you would like to check out more about Leah Sanchez and Haley Wynn, Parker Hollandoner, our sports reporter, put together a nice story on those two young ladies.
He did a very good job with that. I watched it yesterday.
So if you want to go ahead to TexomasHomepage.com and check that out, you can find out more about our state powerlifters. We've also got high school soccer still going on here in Texoma. 2 local teams remaining. One from the WFISD, the Memorial Mavericks girls soccer team battling into the regional semifinals, as well as the Graham Lady Blues soccer program. Their deepest playoff run in program history. Now, program was only founded way back in 2018, 8-9 years ago, but still, they've never been this far in the playoffs, so shout out to the Lady Blues and to the Mavericks. Memorial plays Friday, 5 o'clock.
In Mineral Wells.
In Mineral Wells, thank you. And Graham plays Friday, 6:30 in Weatherford.
So to recap some of that a little bit, I'd be lying if I said I followed area soccer a whole lot. But speaking of Graham knocked out Kenyon Randall last week, who was the defending state champion, and I believe 3rd or 4th in state, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds right. I know they were defending champs.
So short run for a program, and beat Lubbock Cooper Liberty yesterday, which I know Lubbock Cooper Liberty is a newer program, but they've shown to be pretty elite in everything they play.
Yeah, and they knocked Graham out last year, so it was a little revenge.
Yes. So and speaking of our local teams, you mentioned the Memorial Ladies. The Memorial Ladies have a 20-game unbeaten streak. I believe they lost the first game of the year and haven't been beaten since.
Correct.
One last week, 2-1. Been playing some great defense. Taya Baird, I think, had the 2 goals for them in the second half. Congratulations to all of our programs. All of them won at least one playoff game this year.
Nice.
Well, no, that's not true. Legacy Ladies did not win a playoff game, but they all made the playoffs. 3 teams won a playoff game. Legacy boys, man, they were in penalty kicks Tuesday night, and were up most of that five round penalty shot and missed their last one to tie to go to a 6th sudden death, if you will. And El Paso Bel Air made theirs, and Legacy missed theirs. So, but congratulations on great seasons for all of our soccer teams for making the playoffs, and continued good luck. Hope that unbeaten streak stays going a little bit longer for the Memorial Ladies.
Absolutely. 20 unbeaten. I mean, losing the first game of the year and then not losing again.
Yeah, I think they're 21-1, if I'm not mistaken. So something along those lines.
I love it. All right. And we also had some football news here in Wichita Falls this week. Longtime local coach Mark Bindle was at Ryder as the head coach, and then was at Memorial as the head coach when the schools split up or changed, whatever you want to call it, and worked for Coach Free for a long time, who's when Coach Free was the AD here in the WFISD. Mark now taking the job at Salina ISD, leading the Bobcats program. Coach Free, I'd love to know from you, right? So, like, you coached at Brownwood, and I've heard you talk about this before. Like, there are some schools in the state of Texas that are just almost, I would say, like on a pedestal.
Blue Bloods.
When it comes to, well, no, they're orange, Chad.
Well, but yes.
Had to be there. Inside joke.
Yes.
They're on a pedestal when it comes to elite in culture and in history. And it sounds to me, as someone who's not from the state of Texas, but over the last 6 years has learned a lot about Texas high school football, or tried to at least. Salina is one of those jobs. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, incredibly fair to say. I mean, they won a state championship 2 years ago, got knocked off in the semis last year. They've won 9 state championships, I believe, and most of them in recent history. I'm not, and don't quote me on that number, but I know it's been a lot. The thing I will say about jobs like that are, you work your tail off as a coach, and you put people around you and kids around you, and you hope that you make an impact not only in their lives but also on the field a little bit. And Mark's done that, and he's put himself in position to be, have an opportunity for a big job like that. I think Salina, that ISD and that football staff has gone through a little bit of chaos here recently.
Yep.
And they're moving up to the 5A level, but they have hired the exact right person to guide them through that, and not only just guide them through it, but be able to be successful in doing so. And I think Mark is, he's obviously an outstanding candidate for that, and he's going to do great. He did great things in Wichita Falls, and thank him for those things. And he's going to do great things where he goes, and look forward to seeing what he can do there.
Let's be honest. I mean, this stings for WFISD.
Sure.
I mean, it stings for the community. The Bindle family is has been great members of the community. They grew up here. Mark has coached and taught a lot of kids. His wife Carly is also a teacher, has taught a lot of kids. Really helped kids develop into young men and women. Not just this goes much farther than just the football field. But as Grant said, I mean, there's just those handful of jobs that you just don't say no to, and Salina is one of them. So we love Mark. We're going to miss Mark, but we understand and we congratulate him and we wish him nothing but the best. There will be no bigger. I promise you, there will be no bigger fans when he gets that first win 100 than the people of Wichita Falls. I know I'll be one of the first people to text him when it happens. So proud of him, congratulate him. Sad for us, happy for him. Looking forward to many, many more years of success for him, though.
Yeah, career win number 100 will be his next win. Old High grad, got onto the Rider coaching staff at a young age, took over for Coach Gar, right? For Coach
Yes.
Garfield. Led the Rider Raiders to incredible seasons. I mean, deep playoff runs. We're talking
Never
regional
missed the
finals.
playoffs as a head coach. And Grant can speak to how tough that is. He's had, and Mark will be the first one to tell you he's had some talent. But
yeah.
and Mark will be the last person to pat himself on the back, but he deserves a lot of credit for that, whether he admits it or not. So
I will say this: coaching's hard because it's a transient job. You don't stay there forever. Generally, you. I mean, obviously, as I'm zooming in to this show, but it's hard because sometimes there are other opportunities and there are things that make the most sense for your family, and you can't stay in one place forever. But yeah, Mark did an outstanding job. Just that record, or just that statement that you said, he never missed the playoffs. I mean, I missed it one time in my first year, and that was that's wild. I got asked about this when I did the interview for Dave Campbell's about Mark getting the job, and I just said, as his boss, I loved having him, but as a competitor in that rivalry, that Old High Rider rivalry, like, he made me a better coach. Going against him made me a better coach. He was not vanilla. He always he made you think. He really made you think as a coach. He made you look at things from a different way, and his teams were always ready to play and always had something for you that you'd never seen. I loved competing against him. We were both proud, and he'll tell you this too. We were both proud that we were the only head coaches that got to deal with Old High and Rider playing in the playoffs in that third round game in 2018. I think that was a big deal for both of us. It was also a big deal for both of us to be the last coaches of Rider and Old High, and so we had some shared experiences that helped us as competitors, but also as friends. And as the time that I got to be around Mark, we became a lot closer and friends. We graduated at the same time. We're the same age. And then getting to work with him in a different capacity as I became the athletic director and he was the campus coordinator at Rider and then at Memorial, I just gained a really good respect for him. And I'm proud and I'm happy for him. And this is the one thing I know. The Wichita Falls will be just fine. Memorial will be just fine. They're going to make a great hire as they're going to do. And the kids of Wichita Falls compete. That's the one thing I can say. If you go anywhere, I'm not worried about them making it through it. Kids are resilient. They're going to be just fine. And that level, that standard that's been established is not going to dip any.
It's interesting, Coach Free, because to kind of pivot this conversation a little bit, you were in these shoes, meaning you were hiring a head coach for a new school in the WFISD just 2 years ago when you brought in Greg Davis. So now obviously you're not the AD here anymore. Coach Devin Doris is, but you can probably shed some light on what it's going to be like for school district leaders, for Coach Doris, for the kids of the area, maybe over the next 3-ish months as they try to get someone in the door. What do you remember about the process for you and what it might look like here in the near future?
Yeah, so I think everybody has to do it their way. Coach Doris has obviously got to do it his way.
Sure.
I mean, I've been able to talk to him and give him some advice on how I did it. And, he's got good resources there in WFISD to help him. But it should be about a month-long process, about 4 weeks. the thing that we tried to do, or that I tried to do, is I looked first inside. Is there a candidate inside that can help the continuity, that's ready, that's prepared to be that person? If that person exists, then you kind of flesh it out and figure out if not only if they can do the job, but if they're willing to do the job, or they have a plan or a mindset to move into that spot. Because sometimes people can do the job, but they don't have a plan or a mindset to be that person. Mm-hmm. The second thing that you do is, you have kind of a Rolodex of about 5 to 10 people that you're familiar with, that you need to contact and gauge their interest in that job. And then finally, you kind of open it up to see what that job looks like on the free market, to see how attractive it is, to see what kind of talent you can attract. And I think somewhere in there, you take all of that and you pit those people against each other, and that competition helps to bring the best person to that scenario. That's what we did. That's kind of what we did last year with Legacy. I felt like we got the right person in the building. I think Greg Davis was the right hire. But I think Greg Davis rose out of that by being the right hire based on that competition and based on all of those things that we did that would help, that got us to that point. Because you don't want to hire this position again. Right. In a year or in 2 years. You want to hire the right person that's going to sustain it for a longer period of time. I think if they take those things into account, then they'll find the right person for Memorial High School.
Let me just say a couple more things just to kind of tie a bow on Mark. First of all, taking him off the football field. Any conversation I ever had with Mark Bindle, one of the first things out of his mouth was, "How are you doing?" And that can be a generic sometimes. We all say, "How's it going?" whatever. But, I mean, he genuinely wanted to know people and wanted to know how they were doing and genuinely had an interest in people. I also think you guys can agree, there was no more fun interview. I mean, Mark's been on our show a few times. He's been on the WFISD podcast. You've interviewed him multiple times. There was no more fun person to speak to have an interview with. One of my favorite moments was it was a game a couple of years ago, and MJ had told me he was doing a live interview with Mark before the game. This may have been when Ryder was still open. I think it was when Ryder was still open. Yeah. Well, Mark is a noted Lady Gaga fan. Well, MJ said, "Hey, I'm going to do this live interview, and while I'm doing the live interview, will you just play Lady Gaga music over the speaker?" And MJ, every question had some sort of Lady Gaga song reference. Yeah. Well, Mark is quick. He is. I mean, as I recall during the live interview, he's like, "I know what you're doing here." Yes. But he rolled with it. He never even stopped.
MJ, did you do Mark and I we would always do that live shot before the Ryder Old High games. We always did it together. Yeah. Mark, I don't think it had ever been done together. Mark and I always did it together, and it was always like we would try to mess with each other in the interview. Did you ever get to do any of those? I can't remember if that was you or not.
Yeah, I didn't do I did not do the playoff one. That was like my first year here, but certainly maybe the last one. I might have done the last one. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was always live, too. That made it worse. And Mark knew it was live, and we both knew it was live, so we tried to get each other every time. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Why not? Chad, I'm seeing if I can find that interview because...
Oh, it was so funny.
It was hilarious. And now, to be fair, the regulations have changed a little bit. Let's put it that way. We're not allowed to have that music in the background anymore. But
you can't stop the PA guy from playing live music, though.
Listen, beg for, don't ask permission. Beg for forgiveness, right?
But yeah, that was just one of the things that I remember most because, like I said, because MJ had me on. He's like, "I want you to play this Lady Gaga music for me." And
all right, I think this is it. Let's see if this is it. Here we go. Will this play? Actually, is my computer volume on? Hold on. This is a little test here. Can you guys hear that?
Yes.
1 month down, 3 months to go.
I think this is it.
4 weeks of Friday night football are in the books.
This is Tobin
Week 5
introing
taking
it.
place tonight. Our game of the week is right here in Wichita Falls as the Ryder Raiders host the Stephenville Yellow Jackets. MJ Baird joins us now live from Memorial Stadium to preview the game.
Yeah, hey there, Tobin. I'm here with the head coach of the Ryder Raiders, Mark Bindle. And how natural is it that as soon as we start, they want to pump up the music? But
that's Chad Johnson.
That is Chad Johnson. You're right. Anyway, Tobin, we'll get back to the game if we can. It's our game of the week. With that comes a little extra media attention, maybe paparazzi, as they'd say. But that's why you're here with me, right? So let's talk about tonight's game. The Stephenville. He knows right now. This game. You know what? I know they try to hide it a little bit, but see through their poker face. I mean, what's the scouting report on them?
Hey, I love the Gaga references. You're not going to throw me off there. I appreciate it. I'm a Gaga guy, as one would say. Stephenville's coming in and
never missed a beat.
Never.
Glory, looking for that next victory.
Look, he gives one back.
But we got a million reasons on that side of the ball that we're going to get a W tonight.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe you picked up on that so fast. It was supposed to be a surprise, but this guy all over it. Of course, this stems from last night. Coach Bindle was up on the broadcast, said he was a Lady Gaga guy. I didn't know that, so I tried to fake him out tonight, and he was all over it. So I guess I wouldn't call it a bad romance last week, but you guys did lose. So anyway, that interview goes on. How good is that?
The other best Mark, especially with the free-for-all, was when Mark and Ben Coker decided they were feuding with the free-for-all and wanted to start their own podcast.
Yes.
And Mark famously came on the podcast in my office and stripped during the episode. Took his clothes off during the episode.
That also may have happened. Yes. Aye. Anyway, all that to say,
Gonna be missed.
Yeah, all
congratulations.
That to say,
that's what you're getting in Salina, Texas, right there.
Now it might take 6 months for that side of him to come out, but that is what you're getting in Salina. So, Coach Bindle, congratulations.
I let them know when they called me. I'm telling you, I was honest in my reference checks.
Good,
but that's also why kids love him so much.
That's true. Oh man, that is good stuff. A lot of memories flooding back right now. Okay, let's move on to some regional stuff. We talked about Major League Baseball opening day being today, and really cool story, Chad, about the Texas Rangers last week. You got young guys trying to make the team, and one of the pitchers that the Rangers were adding to their repertoire was Carter Baumler, and basically he got told at a mound visit that he was going to make the team. How cool is that?
Absolutely. You look at all these different ways that they do it. And the funny thing, I heard Skip Schumacher on the radio this morning, and they said he's walking out to the mound, and the umpire hollers at him like, "What are you doing? You don't have anybody warming up." He's like, "It'll make sense in a minute." So he went out there, and Baumler's out there. That's pretty much your starting infield right there, and they didn't know what was happening. But Baumler's even wondering like, "Man, I thought I was pitching pretty well. I thought I was going to get to finish the inning. What is he doing? I guess he's changing pitchers." Well, he comes out there, and you can kind of see everybody smiles, and they interviewed him afterwards, and he kind of choked up a little bit, but. What a moment and what an opportunity and what a cool way to find out that you made the team.
It's the top of the fifth inning, and there's 2 outs, and nobody's warming up. Now, when the manager comes out in Major League Baseball, you're typically getting yanked.
Right.
So he thinks he's coming out of the game, and it's like, no, bro, you made the team. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's, like I say, you hear all the time, there's nothing like these guys these guys that make the team, that have – you always want to make an opening day. They have guys that didn't make the team that are going to help play this year, but they're not going to get to be on that first base line at their first home game next week, or the first base line today in Philadelphia, or third base line today in Philadelphia when the teams are introduced. And there's just nothing quite like an opening day in baseball.
Can you keep that running for just a second? Here's my baseball input. Those hats are hideous.
They are.
Those spring training hats are hideous.
They are. If I told my wife the other day, you guys know my noted hat collection. That will not be a hat that will be entering the Chad Johnson portfolio.
That was where I was going. I was going to say, is Chad going to buy that hat? That is horrible.
Now you give me that hat without that stupid looking cactus growing off the tee, and I'm all over it. But the growth off of the tee is
so bad.
Yeah, all the teams did that, and I believe the Florida teams have grapefruits on theirs, if I'm not mistaken. So. Yeah, that hat will not be added to the Chad Johnson portfolio.
It should not be. That was horrible. Noted baseball connoisseur, Coach Free, with his input. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Okay, let's see. March Madness. Okay, this is interesting. Last week on the podcast, it was the day before the round of 64 and the round of 32, and I was saying these got to be some of the best days on the sports calendar all year long. There's basketball from sunup to sundown and beyond. And then we get to Monday, and it's the first off day after 4 straight days of basketball. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no NCAA Division I March Madness men's basketball. Those got to be some of the worst sports days on the calendar. And now here we are today, round of 32. I'm sorry, Sweet 16 begins. Is your bracket busted, Coach Free?
I don't do a bracket. We talked about that last week. I don't do a bracket.
Forgot about that.
Here's the thing. What's really weird, or we did talk about this a little bit. I mean, there's not There wasn't a lot of upsets.
No,
I mean,
Florida going
like,
down was the only one.
Yeah, and even at that, like it's kind of looking like football now, where you have the top end and you really can't compete with them maybe on a one-off, and the bottom end of people. And I just think that's the carryover or symptom of the NIL. And so, you can pick chalk all the way around and you're going to have a 80% plus bracket.
See, I still think this year is a little bit more of an aberration. Yes, I know NIL, because I think in some ways NIL is going to balance sports out a little bit. And what I'm saying is, especially in basketball, all it takes is one wealthy guy to say, I'm going to go find 5 guys to build a national championship team. Now, it didn't happen this year, but I mean, there have been a few moderate
4 1 seeds in the Final Four last year.
Right, but how many 1 seeds are still alive this year?
All but one.
All but one.
3.
Okay. Well, I mean, so my Final Four, I had upsets. So my 3 of my Final Fours are gone in one of my 2 brackets. I mean, obviously, you look at that Texas making the Sweet 16 when they barely made the tournament.
Yeah, they were first 4 team down here at the bottom.
Yeah, is a surprise.
But you can't call them a Cinderella.
No, but if you go
they
back,
generate $1 billion in revenue.
No, I agree. I wouldn't call them a Cinderella, but I would definitely call them a surprise. I think that's a fair statement. But even that, there hasn't been a lot of great upsets, but there's been a lot of great games. I mean, High Point, how close did High Point coming to beating, was it Arkansas? I mean, they had them on the ropes for a while, but Arkansas ended up rallying in the end. And how many people other than us that hosted a regional tournament here even knew High Point was a university?
Sure.
Obviously, and I say that because I think is it Brendan or Braden? I think it's Brendan Hawson, who played at Amarillo when Amarillo won the regional title here.
Plays
Braden's at Iowa. Braden's at Iowa now.
Yes.
That upset the Florida.
Yes. So
this is what's interesting, and I know Chad and I sit on different sides of this fence. We did in the football conversation. We're going to in this one. This is where basketball is a little bit more. You only need 5, and so you can see some upsets in there. The problem is this collective money and these
right.
TV deals and all of this stuff has really changed it. I mean, it's really moved the difference in it. And here's one of the reasons why. Used to, you were getting the one and dones that would only go to the big schools and they're one and they're gone, which is still the case. But now, if you are a mid-major and or somebody below that, and you have a good player or good players on your team,
they're going up.
They're going to end up on a larger team the next year, and then they're going to be gone. I mean, look at Iowa. Iowa took Drake's coach from last year and 6 of their players, I believe, and upset Florida, and it's basically Drake's team from last year.
No,
it's just such a different world.
I absolutely agree with that. I mean, I'm hoping as an Oklahoma State parent, I'm hoping that works in basketball. I mean, in football this year. I guess my point just with basketball is, you get. I mean, all it takes is one very wealthy donor to say we're gonna go for a national title this year, and to go. I mean, pay top dollar for 5 players and see what happens. There's no guarantee of a national
in basketball.
Yeah, there's no guarantee of a national championship, but you see these mid majors, the teams like what is it about? What is it about Gonzaga that is good every year but can't quite get over that hump to get into the Elite 8 or get into the Final Four? Because they're in the mix top 10 every year, but they just can't seem to be a team that gets over that hump. Is it funding? What is it? I guess
terrible conference.
It's the difference in being able to go. This is what sounds crazy, but. Like your teams that can successfully win, you don't have to if you were to rank their players 1 through 15 on a basketball team, if you have the best player, sometimes that if your number 1 is head and shoulders against somebody else's number 1, that makes a difference. But really, where you can tell the difference in the longevity of what it takes to win in 3 weekends, 3 full weekends, 2 games a weekend to win a national championship, it's the players 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right.
That what are your 5, 6, 7, 8 look like against that? Gonzaga can pull some of these top end, but it's the 5, 6, 7, 8 who wants to live in Spokane, Washington, and go to a school that's the size of Midwestern? What does that college experience look like, and what does the money look like there as between the difference in going to a blue blood or going to an SEC or Big 12 program or going to St. John's in New York? That's a markedly different experience, and so really it's that 5, 6, 7, 8 that makes a difference in basketball, and that's why you see sometimes, those, even back in the old system where those mid-majors could kind of come up, that's where they couldn't seal the deal. They couldn't finish it.
And to speak to,
because that's just the difference in depth.
And to speak to your point there, I think it was Siena that I heard they were talking about on the radio the other day. Played 5 guys the entire game, and they were leading.
Yeah, Jerry McNamara.
They were leading, halfway into the second half, but right there they basically just said that when you're playing for all your starters are never leaving the game. They ran out of gas, and I don't even remember who it was they were playing had those bench guys to if nothing else at least could be serviceable while the starter took a blow. So that kind of speaks to that point a little bit on the depth aspect.
While we are talking about college basketball, I thought it would be a good time for our trademark segment. What are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Ask myself that question all the time. All the time. Did you see anything regarding the new Providence College head basketball coach, Coach Free? Brian Hodgson?
Definitely not.
Didn't he used to be the?
Oh, he said he's the one that made the comment about, I know I can recruit. Look at my wife.
Oh yeah,
that is the gentleman, and I've got said clip for you right here.
Didn't he used to be the head football coach in Jacksboro?
No.
That's Brian Hodnett.
Okay.
It's a bad joke.
Got me all
Sorry.
sorts confused.
It's a bad joke.
This
Sorry.
is Providence College's newest head football coach. See, now you got me all screwed up. Newest head basketball coach, Brian Hodgson. A clip from a few years ago when he was at USF and from a few days ago at Providence College.
If you have any questions at all about my ability to recruit, look no further than my beautiful fiance, the best recruiting job of my life. If you ever want to question my recruiting abilities, just take a look at my wife, Jordan.
Look.
Hey, if it worked the first time, use it a second time.
Good joke, but don't you know that's going to come out? Like, I wish he had followed that Providence comment up with, it's an old joke, I made it before, but it's a good one.
Hopefully it doesn't go from fiance, the first job.
Full screen. Uh-oh.
Oh,
we lost you.
We blurred it.
Hi, Miss Hillary. Can't see it. Oh, boy. Yeah. Anyway.
I agree.
So you can recruit? Is that what you're saying, Coach Free?
I agree. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I agree.
There are 2 people on this frame that outkicked their coverage. We'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
Single.
Again, that's all I'm saying. Like, I love his statement. I think I'd have done it once.
Yes.
So it went from fiance to wife this
True.
time. Hopefully the next time it doesn't
Oh, no.
end badly. And the next time he's
like I said, I'd
recruiting
have thrown that analogy out once.
Yeah. And it worked great. It
he got a better reaction with Providence.
He did. Go Friars. Also, part 2 of what are we doing here? Coach Free, what's this?
All right, so I am getting out in front of this. This is Ben Spear. This is head football coach Burnett CISD, Ben Spear, making fun of Coach Free's bell ringing ability. And he is a noted free-for-all enthusiast. And he wanted this video submitted because he has been messing with me about my bell ringing abilities. He said that this is not quality bell ringing ability.
What is on your head?
Headphones.
It's a headset and then a hood, and it was very hot. And they all got in trouble because it's been a while since I put a headset on, and I just defaulted back into that mode. I think I had to get after some people when that headset came on. I don't see any problem with my bell ringing ability.
Honestly, I don't either. I really don't.
Thank you, MJ.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe a little uninterested, if anything, but nothing wrong with it. It did the job.
Well, he has used that video as ransom for me, and he's sent it out multiple times. And what he forgets is and I told him this yesterday, don't start a land war with Russia in the winter.
Don't poke the bear?
I hold the final gavel.
Well, you gotta get some video on him then.
Well, I could, but he has an iPhone 4. It still has a home button on it. It still has a home button, so I mean, I could send it to him. I guess I could burn him a DVD maybe and send it to him and see if he could get that. So I'm sure when he watches this episode of the Free for All, he's going to be real excited.
Can he watch this episode on his iPhone 4, or does he have to watch it on his computer?
No, he has to watch it on his computer.
What's the battery life on an iPhone 4? That thing's got to be plugged in 24/7.
All I'm going to say is that 2007 called and they want their phone back.
Speaking of 2007, you know who was a really good NFL quarterback in 2007? This guy, Tom Brady. Did you watch any of this flag football, Coach Free?
I liked it. I thought it was interesting. I don't just love it, but I did think it was interesting.
Chad?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I think it was eye-opening for some of these NFL guys about what it takes. You know, obviously they're incredible athletes and incredible NFL players, but flag football is a completely different game. And these flag football guys
to the Olympics?
Yes, and I think that's where a lot of the consternation has been. Is a lot of these NFL guys say, "Well, we want to play in the Olympics," and a lot of these flag football guys are like, "Well, you guys aren't flag football players." So I think that was kind of the gist of this little mini tournament. And that Team USA team put a whooping on those teams.
Yeah, the NFLers lost. And yes, you're right, Coach Free. It's come to the Olympics in 2028. So the impetus, I guess I heard Brady talking about this on the Fallon late night show. It was basically the Tonight Show. I'm sorry, NBC property. I've got to get that correct. Basically just let's gain some momentum for flag football before it comes to the Olympics in a couple of years here in the United States, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see bottom right, just the clip of this video. Here's the score, 43-8. Let's just say it wasn't close.
Now, I would have liked to have seen.
Sorry about that. That's our show.
I would have liked to have seen all either NFL or former NFL players and not Logan Paul and I Show Speed and a couple of those other guys. Now, it was mostly, I think there was only 3 or 4 of those guys. But,
yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk about what are we doing with that nonsense, get those guys out of here.
That's a good question.
But even in saying that, like I say, those Team USA guys, man, I mean, because I guess there's rules that the first guy can't run it, but the second guy can. So a lot of times you have 2 quarterbacks out there. A lot of 6-man aspects to the flag football game, I thought.
Yeah.
These NFL guys didn't understand that you can't hit them, you know, or you can't hold them and grab their flag. It's just a flag grab. Well, these Team USA guys know how to juke out of those flag grabs, and so it was entertaining to watch. And I tell you what, kudos to those, like I say, those flag football guys. They may not be NFL caliber players, but they are athletes.
It's football. I'm interested.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I guess the ball's a little bit smaller. If I'm a Bengals fan, I don't know how I feel about Joe Burrow out there.
Oh, speaking of the Bengals,
jumping around and potentially hurting his knee or something like that. But
that's an unbelievable transition, and you didn't even know it, because here's the deal: our quote of the week comes from a Cincinnati Bengal. Look, if Joe Burrow goes down, ruins his knee, the Bengals will be just fine, because Joe Flacco is back in town, and Joe Flacco went to the media podium and basically went off thinking that I don't know. Does he think he's Tom Brady? Let's have a listen. That's not it. Take 2.
I feel like I can help a team win. And, yeah, it may be in a different role here, but I do still think I can help this team win in that role. I had a lot of fun with Joe, and Joe's the guy. And believe me, I wish I was a guy somewhere. And I think teams are dumb for not having me be that guy. But it is what it is, and I'm not going to let them or it get me down. I'm going to be the person I am and just approach football the way I always have.
So the age-old question, is Joe Flacco elite? But, I mean, he's 41 years old, and is he wrong? Maybe not.
I don't have a problem with the comment, because it's just confidence in his abilities. And I think in his mind, he's saying, I don't think he's sitting there saying I'm elite, but I think he's saying I'm one of the best 30 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Okay.
But like he said, other people don't think that, so I'm perfectly happy being Joe Burrow's backup. I don't have a problem with a player thinking that because I want him to have that mentality. So then if Burrow goes down, he's got that mentality that we're not going to miss a beat when I come in there. I don't have a problem with it.
Chad hits it. I think Chad hits it in this aspect, though. There are 30 whatever teams. I mean, 10 of them, 15 of them might be happy with their quarterback room. I mean, maybe. I would say there's 5 to 7 elite quarterbacks out of that 30 plus. Joe Flacco, and the way he's played in the last 5 years, would signal that he's one of the best 30.
Let me ask you this. I mean, just specifically one team, and this is just me asking. Obviously, the team thinks different, but would you feel better about the Falcons situation if they had a guy like Joe Flacco in there competing with Tua and Penix? Penix can't stay healthy. Tua can't stay healthy. Both haven't really proven it yet as an NFL quarterback. Flacco gives you is a guy that can play for you. The Raiders,
we could go down the line. Yeah, I was going to say we could go down the line, and I could tell you all the ones that I would choose. I mean,
Miami
he's
Dolphins.
better than that room.
Yeah, the Dolphins are another one.
New York Jets.
Better.
Arizona Cardinals.
They don't have a quarterback right now, do they?
Pittsburgh Steelers, depending on Rodgers.
Better.
Cleveland Browns.
100% better. I think that's the one he's referring to because that's where he was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was there. They traded him in the division. I did look up his stats.
And he had better stats than the guy that replaced him that everybody is proclaiming as the next star quarterback in the NFL.
Shedeur Sanders?
Yes.
60.3 completion percentage, 2,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Ranked 25th among qualified players in QBR, 2-8 across stints with the Bengals and the Browns last year.
But why does that make a difference to him, Joe Flacco? Like he's made tons of money or whatever.
Sure.
Like he's 41 years old. Where it makes a difference is there's a major difference between starter money and backup money.
Sure.
Different level.
If he was he's making, what does this article say? He's making $6 million this year with Cincinnati as the backup.
Should be around 20.
But would he get 20 at 41 years old from the Dolphins?
As the starter? What did the Dolphins just pay Wheatley or whoever they just signed?
Malik Willis.
They paid him a lot.
3 years, $65 million.
Yeah.
Around 20 a year. That's what I'm saying is 20 is about the baseline for a starting quarterback that's not on a rookie deal.
I think if he's going somewhere as the shoe-in starting quarterback, I think you're looking at 18 to 22.
I think that's about right.
Let's say the Dolphins.
That's triple what he's making.
Let's say the Dolphins called him tomorrow, though, and said, "We want you to come be the starter. We'll pay you whatever he's making now, $6 million a year." Does he say no? Said he wants to be the guy somewhere.
I mean, I think
he would say no.
Interesting.
How much money?
His agent wouldn't let him do that.
Sure. Go ahead, Chad.
I'm thinking out loud and I'm looking it up. I'm curious how much money has Joe Flacco made in his career?
See if this article has it.
He's made $190 million over an 18-year NFL career.
Yeah, doing well for himself. Very well.
The biggest contract he signed was 6 years, 120 in 2013 with Baltimore.
Very interesting comment, I think, to call 32 teams, but I guess 31 teams dumb. But I
think he's just betting on himself.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is I don't think he's necessarily wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all 31. I think it's about a handful of 10 to 15.
And you start looking at backup jobs. I mean, Cincinnati as an example. He is the unquestioned backup. There is no question whatsoever who the starting quarterback is in Cincinnati.
Right.
But you're also talking about a guy that doesn't always stay healthy.
I was going to say Joe Burrow hadn't made it through a season yet.
But has pretty talented players around him. So Flacco, I mean, that's a job right there that if Flacco becomes the starting quarterback, he could succeed in with the talent that's around him and in a situation knowing Burrow is probably going to miss 3 or 4 games.
Chad, last week you came up with a really good idea for the end of the podcast to start ending it with Texas high school mascots. Now, I went to Tobin. I said, Tobin, do you have this book that Chad's referring to? It used to have the mascots in it. We looked for it, couldn't find it. This is the closest thing we could find. It lists all the Texas towns in it.
Oh, okay.
So this is how we're going to do it. So
I guarantee you that book's in his office somewhere.
he thinks he's like, I know I've got it somewhere, but he said I'm going to look for it. So Coach Free, this guy. Yeah, it's basically the same thing, right? Has every team?
Yes, pretty much.
Coach Free, give me your favorite number 1 to 104.
31.
So I'm going to go to page 31 of this book, and we're going to pick a town that's on the list.
That book Grant has is probably what he uses to study zip codes.
Maybe. I would too.
It is.
Page 31.
This is the famous coach's book.
So we are in these are the H's. You can't see that. This is the H category. So I'm going to go with Hardin, Texas. Do we know the mascot in Hardin, Texas?
I'm gonna go Bulldogs.
I'm looking it up. Someone watching at home who actually knows
Hardin.
is yelling at their screen.
Grant's
right
cheating.
now.
Hornets.
The Hardin Hornets, UIL Class 3A.
Always guess alliteration.
Yeah.
You will never go wrong with alliteration.
Okay, another H. We'll do 3 every week. Another H on page 31. Harper. Do we know the Harper, Texas mascot?
Mustangs.
Harper Mustangs, all right.
I should know this. Harper is Cowboys or something like that.
According to Google, it is the Harper Longhorns.
Longhorns.
And then we'll go with a bigger town, Haltom City.
That's the Buffaloes.
Buffaloes.
Bang. Good
It's
job.
the Haltom Buffaloes.
Haltom Buffaloes. There you go.
Scott Hafley, former head coach.
That's
I
right.
didn't know that.
Current head coach, 1993 Rider graduate Jason Tucker.
There you go. Where is Haltom City?
You go through it if you're
Birdville.
going. Yeah, you go through it if you're going down 820 towards Globe Life Field or AT&T Stadium.
Very good.
It's Haltom, Euless, Bedford, right there. That's Hurst, Euless, Bedford. It's Haltom is with Richland.
It's up in Birdville, Northwestern Springs.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, that's our new thing at the end of the show, Chad. So good job. Thanks for coming up with the idea. Well done. Let me thank our
Broken
sponsor.
clock's right twice a day.
At least twice, yeah. Our sponsor on the show, of course, our friends over at Macaulay Landscapes. If you need anything done referring to your home, lawn care, landscaping, irrigation repair, any or all of the above, hit up our guy Patrick, 940-632-5346. Do us a favor, follow us on the social medias. We're trying to get to 100 followers on Facebook. If we do that, we can get to Facebook Live, these shows. We were YouTube Live today, but we're trying to get to Facebook Live as well. So if you'll do us a favor and follow the Free For All Pod on Facebook, also at Free4All_pod on YouTube and all the other social media platforms. Gentlemen, I think that's it for episode number 91. Anything else you guys got on your mind this week?
No, good luck to
Shout out Jackson Freeman, school record in the long jump last night.
Let's go.
Yeah, while we're shouting out kids, shout out to my daughter. Had a nice little junior recital the other night at Oklahoma State. A little short on sleep yesterday, but great job setting all that up and practicing a lot of music and playing well.
Long jump, is that Jackson's specialty on the track?
No, but I mean he's done well at it. He's tripled and long. He's won or second most of our events, and then he's a 400 runner. So
what's
4x4?
What's he up to height wise now? To disappoint Trey Lawson.
It's almost about 6'2". Yeah, Trey saw him last week. Sorry.
Must be nice. Honestly, must be nice. All right, folks, thanks so much for watching, for listening. Follow us on all the socials. Thank you to Macaulay Landscapes, and we will see you back here next week for episode number 92. See you then.